Okay, this is my second try at this video, so hopefully it goes much better. So on your paper, you should have gotten a handout from the sub. You're going to fill that in with me as I go through my notebook. You're going to fill out the handout, and then you will glue it into your notebook. Okay, you have to have this done and glued in before you can even get the assignment today. So we're talking about factors, multiples, and patterns. Your paper starts off with this Venn diagram. It has the number 3 in the middle, 1 times 3 on the left, and then skip counting by 3 on the right. This side is a factor. This side is the multiples. Factors, I wrote down below that, factors are the numbers that multiply to give you a product. A multiple is all of the multiples or products that a number can multiply to make. It's when we skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, when I say do your threes and you guys start singing your songs, those are our multiples. So I'm going to do another example here. You can feel free to write this in your notebook as an example, write it on your paper as an example, or just listen and follow along. What numbers multiply to give me 9? 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. So I have 1, 9, and 3 as my factors. I don't need to write 3 twice. Once is enough. Then my multiples. This is where I skip count. Okay, so 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. Those are my multiples. Okay, you have these two charts down below. Factors of 12. What are the numbers that multiply to give me 12? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So my factor sets, if you see that phrase, it's asking you what numbers can we multiply? Replace your times with a comma. Factors of 24. If you need to pause at any moment to continue writing down something or to catch up, please pause the video. You can always push play in just a moment. Factors of 24. 1 times 24. 2 times 12. 3 times 8. And 4 times 6. So I have 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6. You'll see this on your assignment today. This kind of chart, just different numbers here. Then we briefly discussed greatest common factor. You get most into greatest common factor and least common multiple in 5th grade, but we briefly covered it. Greatest common factor, I gave you the definition on your paper. It is the largest factor that a set of numbers shares. So we're talking about factors. How do I get the number 8? Let's list it. 1 times 24. I don't know why I put 24. Should be 8. 1 times 8. And 2 times 4. Skarner's a little tired tonight. 1 times 8, 2 times 4. How do I get the number 12? 1 times 12. 2 times 6. 3 times 4. How do I get the number 24? There we go. 1 times 24. That's where I was coming from with that. 2 times 12. 3 times 8. 4 times 6. Now we just go through and circle every number they share. They each have a 1. They each have a 2. These two have a 3, but this one does not. They each have a 4. They don't all have a 6. They don't all have an 8, a 12, or a 24. So 1, 2, and 4 are the only numbers they share. Now we're talking greatest. What is the greatest number we have circled? Over here you have a box that says, what is the largest number we have circled? It's a 4. They all share the factor of 4. 4 times something will give me all 3 of those numbers. This means 8, 12, and 24 are multiples of 4. They would appear on this side of a Venn diagram. Okay? The next thing on your paper is least common multiple, or LCM. We're talking multiples. This is the multiples, the smallest multiple that a set of numbers share. So we have to list the multiples. Skip count. What are my multiples of 3? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Go all the way to the 10th multiple. Now I have 9, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, and 90. I'll pause just a moment, give you a second to get all that caught up. Now, if you need to pause, you can go ahead and pause. You can always catch up in just a minute. But now we're going to circle all of the multiples they share. We have a 9. We have an 18. And I have a 27. Then I have a 30 and a 36. So what is the least or lowest number they share? 9. The least common multiple, or the lowest number we have circled, is a 9. That's least common multiple. Then you have a section about prime versus composite. I don't have anything to write in my book because I gave you everything you need. Yours looks something like this. Prime versus composite. Prime is when the only factors are 1 and the number. So here's 1 factor, 2 factors. Composite has more than 2. And then I gave you all the numbers 0 to 100 that are prime. 2 times 1 is the only way we can get 2. 3 times 1 is the only way we can get 3. 5 times 1 is the only way we can get 5, and so on, all the way up to 97. So I don't have anything to give you for prime versus composite. But then we talk about patterns. You've been talking about patterns since kindergarten. We didn't touch on these hardly at all during the school year, but you'll probably see them on your map test. Patterns are not going to be like you had in kindergarten. It's not going to be shapes, colors, and pictures. We're talking about rules. What we're doing, add, subtract, multiply, divide by a number. And it gives you the number you start with. So our rule here is we're adding 4. So on your paper, you should follow along with me where it says rule, add 4. We start with 10. If I add 4, I get 14, 18, 22, 26, 30. So I added 4 every time that I jumped. So let's keep going. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's at least go 10 terms. So then I jump. I get 34, 38, 42, 46. I'm just going to finish it out with 50. What do you notice? What's another pattern you notice here? I have 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. So there's a whole nother pattern inside this pattern. You might be asked, finish the pattern out, describe the pattern in another way. Well, you might say, each time the second digit is 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. Then it repeats, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0. Okay, but they're not always super simple. It's not always one piece to the rule. Sometimes we have two pieces to the rule. What this means is we start with the term 5. This first jump, we're adding 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. This second jump, we're subtracting 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. So now this is a 1, this is a 2. I'm going to go back to a 1 where I add 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. Then I go to my second step, which is subtract 2. 13 minus 2 is 11. Okay, add 5. That gives me 16. Subtract 2. 14. Add 5. 19. Subtract 2. 17. Add 5. 22. One more. Subtract 2. 20. And we could continue this pattern all the way through as many numbers as we need to. Okay? So you will see all of the things I covered in this video on your assignment today. You must take this completed handouts glued into your notebook. You must take them to Mrs. Bright, the sub, and show her that you finished it in order to be able to even get your assignment. Your assignment and a quiz are both happening tomorrow. If you did not get this finished today, you will be in study hall tomorrow. If you don't have your assignment done tomorrow at the beginning of class, you'll be in study hall. There will also be a quiz tomorrow at the beginning of class over this stuff I just covered. You can rewatch this video as many times as you would like to make sure you get the information down. You can even watch it tonight to study. Finish getting that glued in and go see Mrs. Bright.